Hello friends, welcome to Knowledge India once again. In this tutorial, we are going to talk about a new feature from Amazon, which is managed prefix lists. We'll try to understand what all different types of prefix lists are available, and we'll see that how does it solve one of the limitation which was there with Transit Gateway. So we'll see it from end to end along with the demo. So watch the video till the end, and in case you like the video, then you may choose to subscribe to the channel as well. All right, so let us go ahead and get started. So the first point to discuss is what is a prefix list? So in simple terms, it's nothing but a collection of CIDR blocks, right? Uh, all of you are aware that when you are setting up security groups, for example, you do specify CIDR blocks in the security group rules, right? When you are giving the destination or source, that's where you specify that. Now, many of the times it happens that within your enterprise setup, you will have certain CIDR blocks which you want to specify at many of the places, right? For example, if you have a centralized tooling account, or let's say your shared services account or foundation tooling account, in that particular account, you will have certain servers which host your different tool set, right? Now, what happens? You would want that different VPCs within your organization should trust the machines which are there in the central VPC, right? And for that purpose, what happens? You actually specify their IP address in the security group of the different machines in the spoke accounts, right? Think about the hub spoke model. So basically, the prefix list actually makes that part simple, right? So first, let us understand how many types of prefix lists are there. There are two types of prefix lists. First one is AWS managed. So as the name says, AWS managed. So this is something which you cannot change, right? It is basically the list of IP address ranges which are there for AWS services. Currently, it's there for S3 and for DynamoDB, right? So if you go into your account, you'll be able to see two AWS managed prefix list already available there. I'll show you that in the demo as well, right? Where can you use or where can you refer these prefix lists? Two places. You can either refer it in your VPC security group rules or in the subnet route table entries. Please remember, I'm calling it subnet route table entries. You cannot use the prefix list in the gateway route table entries. Remember that. So when I say gateway route table entries, those are transit gateway, right? So in the transit gateway route table, you won't be able to use prefix list. Okay. Now, please understand the AWS managed one, you cannot delete it, modify it because it is managed by AWS, right? Uh, when you reference an AWS managed prefix list in a resource, it counts as a single rule or entry for the resource. Basically, it's like this. Though in this AWS managed prefix list, there might be many CIDR blocks, but it still gets counted as one rule against your limit of the security group rules. As we move forward, you will see how does it differ for the second type, right? And there is no versioning as such in the prefix list, which is AWS managed type. Now, moving on to the next one, which is customer managed. This is something which we can go ahead and maintain based on our requirements. So when you are creating a customer managed prefix list, at that time you will first specify that whether you want to maintain IP version 4 CIDR blocks or IP version 6 CIDR blocks, and you will say that how many such CIDR blocks do you want to maintain within one prefix list. It is important to understand that when you are creating it for the first time, you need to specify that what will be the number of CIDR blocks which you will keep in this prefix list, and that number cannot change. For example, when you are creating it, if you say that it will be 10, then that's it. You cannot add more than 10. So that number you cannot change later on. So keep that in mind. That is just a constraint. Okay. Now you can go ahead and specify whatever you want, IP version 4 or IP version 6, but you cannot mix it, right? You need to choose one type. It is also possible that you can actually go ahead and share the customer managed prefix list from one AWS account to another, right? So that's a really good thing. And remember, you cannot reference a prefix list in a gateway route table. Remember that part. Uh, a prefix list which is customer managed can have multiple versions. So it basically means that, let's say today you have got 5 entries into that, you add one more entry, so it's basically like AWS would maintain another version of this, right? So it will keep maintaining different versions, but at any given point of time, only the latest version gets used. Wherever you will refer a prefix list, only the latest version will get used. That is something which you need to know. Now, there are a few things, right, which I already talked to you, that the number is something which you need to specify in the start. You cannot change that number of entries later on. Okay. And of course, you need to select between IP version 4 or IP version 6. You cannot just mix it, right? So you can very well modify your prefix list by adding more entries or removing the entries. That's possible. You can also change the name if you want. And further to that, you can also go ahead and share the prefix list from one account to another, as I was telling you. It has got a really, really good advantage when you are able to do that. I will show you just in few minutes in the demo that how do you do that and what are its advantages, right? So let's do one thing. First, we will go ahead and quickly create a prefix list, and we will see how do we share it. In order to share it, we need to use AWS RAM, Resource Access Manager. We already have a video on Resource Access Manager. If you want, you can go ahead and check that out. You'll find the link in the description or at the I button on the top right. So look at that RAM video. But please understand, it's possible that you can share a prefix list with an AWS account which is totally outside of your organization. That's possible by specifying its account number. You can share that way. Or you may choose to share it within your organization, either with a particular organizational unit or with the whole organization. That's possible, right? So we'll see that how do you share it. And once you share it, uh, you as the owner of that prefix list, you will be able to see that who all are using it, right? For example, let's say you are in account 1, and in the account 1 you create a prefix list and then you share it within your organization. Now in the AWS account 2, somebody creates a security group and basically uses your prefix list, right? So you will be able to see this particular thing in your AWS account, right? So that's the thing. And remember, you can only share those prefix lists which you own within your account. You cannot just share a prefix list which was shared by somebody else to you. You cannot share it further. That way it doesn't work. So you can share only those prefix lists which you have created within your account, right? So let's do one thing. We will go and do all of this, whatever we have talked till now, and then we will come back and discuss few more aspects that how does it help. This channel teaches you AWS and Azure in really easy and practical manner. There are a lot of demonstration videos already on the channel. As you can see, a lot of professionals got benefited from our videos, and you can read about them here. So if you are new, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. As you can see, here is my organization setup. I've set up single sign-on, so I'm able to see all my different accounts here at one place. I will get inside the tooling account, which is like my central tooling account, or you can say shared services account. So I'll get inside this, and what I'll do, I'll go ahead and do two things. I'll create a customer managed prefix list, right? And I'll also go ahead and share it via Resource Access Manager. So first of all, let's go to VPC. I'm operating in the Northern Virginia region, as you can see. When I click on VPC, you will be able to see on the left hand side, we have managed prefix lists. So if I click here, you can see there are two lists which are already available, right? And these two are actually AWS managed. If you see, owner ID is AWS, right? If you select these, you will be able to see, like if I expand this, one is there for DynamoDB, another one is there for S3. And if you go down and look at the entries, you will be able to see the range of IP addresses which are used for DynamoDB. And if you select this one, you'll be able to see the range of IP address which is used for S3 in the Northern Virginia region. If you go to the other region, these values would probably change. All right. Now we will go ahead and create a prefix list. I'm gonna call it, let's say, my Citrix IPs. Let's say in my shared services account, I've got few Citrix servers, and what I want to enable is that in all the spoke accounts, basically all the accounts which are linked or peer to this shared services or central tooling account, in all those spoke accounts, I should be able to SSH from these Citrix servers, right? Now, I might have 5 Citrix servers today. It might happen that tomorrow I'll have 10, right? Or it may happen that it reduces. So I do not want to be in a situation where I go ahead and try to manage this, IP addresses of Citrix servers in all the spoke accounts. I do not want to do that, right? Instead of that, I'll be able to do it with the help of prefix lists. Now, some of you might be thinking that when my shared services account is paired with the spoke accounts, then I would be able to refer the security group of Citrix servers as well. Yes, that is correct. But then the point is, you will be able to do that only if you are doing VPC peering, right? The problem is the limitation with transit gateway, with the limitation with transit gateway is you would not be able to refer the security groups over the peered VPCs, or you would not be able to refer the security group of a peer VPC. So if you are doing VPC peering, yes, it is okay. But if you are doing transit gateway, and going forward, everybody is starting to use transit gateway. So there we have this limitation. So that problem our prefix list actually solves. So let us see how do we do that first. So I'm gonna just, let's say, put 15 entries that I want. 15 entries. I want to put IP version 4 type of IP addresses. Okay. Now we'll say add new entry. I can put whatever IP addresses I want. Let's say something of this sort. Okay. So for now, I'll just put 2, and I'll go ahead. If you want, you can apply tags as well. So you can say create prefix list, and this gets created. You can see these are the 2 entries. And associations, if you see, this is the tab where you will be able to see that who all are actually using your prefix list. Currently nobody is using it, so that's why there are no entries. And of course this is not shared as well. So next step, what we are going to do, we'll go ahead and actually share this particular prefix list with our whole organization. As you can see, currently we have version 1. This is the first version. And let me just say modify prefix list. And for example, if I just put something like this, you will see that version number would change. Save prefix. And you can see now it has changed to version 2. Now moving ahead, let's go to Resource Access Manager. We'll go to Resource Access Manager, and we'll quickly create a resource share and share this particular prefix list. So we'll go ahead and say create resource share. Let's give it a name, my share 01. And if you click here, you can see so many things can be shared now. If you look at our Resource Access Manager video, you will see that at that time there used to be only very few entries in this particular drop-down. But as time has passed, more and more services are now supported by Resource Access Manager. Uh, when we made the Resource Access Manager video, at that time we had actually explained this thing, that it is going to be one of the most used service going ahead, because as we are going ahead, you will see that AWS is taking a shape where resources are being shared from one account to another account, and Resource Access Manager is going to be the central thing for that. So please make sure that you have a good hold on organizations, SCP, Resource Access Manager, etc. We have videos on all of these things. You can go ahead and watch it on the channel if you have not watched already. So I'll select this prefix list, and you can see this is my prefix list. I'll select this, and with whom do I want to share this? So I do not want to share it with external accounts. I need to put my organization ID here. So I'll have to go here and pick my organization ID. Let me do that. Okay, so we'll pick this, come here and just put it here. Good. And just create this resource share. So now when this is done, we would be able to see this resource share in all the other accounts, and we'll go to some other account and try to make use of this particular prefix list. You can see the account which I'm currently logged in, that is this 3134, this is the account number. So let me just close this thing now, and I'll go to a different account, which is BU01prod. SSO makes your life very easy. If you have not set up SSO yet, you may look at one of our videos and set it up really, in really easy manner in your accounts. So we are here. Now we are in a different account. You can see the account number is 2749. We will go to VPC, go here, and as you know, we can use a prefix list in route table entries, subnet route table entries, and in security groups. So let's just do one thing. We'll go to security groups here, and we'll try to create a new security group. We are going to call it, give it a name. We'll call it test SG101, and doesn't matter whichever VPC you want. You can select. In the inbound, I'm gonna say allow traffic from port 22, and in the source I can actually try to search this my Citrix IPs, which is the prefix list. So I'll just select this and I'll go ahead and say create security group. Okay, it asks for name. So okay, all right, so this is done. As you can see, the prefix list ID is put here. Okay, now here is the thing. Now this particular security group, which is in a different account, is making use of the prefix list which has been shared from a different account altogether, right? You can also do one thing. If you go to Resource Access Manager here in this particular account, you will be able to see that same resource group which was shared by the other account. So for that, you need to go to shared with me. Okay, so go to resource shares and you can see my share one is visible here. If you click on shared resources, you will be able to see this particular prefix list. Great. So we are good till this point. Let me close this. Now, here is one thing which I would like to show you. Let's say if the person who has actually shared this prefix list, he doesn't want to share it anymore because of some reason. He doesn't want to share it anymore. So what would happen? Let's say if he just stops sharing or tries to delete, what would be the behavior? Let's see that. We'll go to VPCs again just to be sure. We are there back in our central tooling account 3134. We'll go to managed prefix lists. Select this particular thing, right? And here what we'll try to do, first let's do one thing, go to associations and you'll be able to see that it is getting used by a particular security group in other AWS account, right? So I hope that part is clear to you. Now let's try to do one thing. If I try to delete this, what would happen? Delete prefix list. We'll say delete, and you will see it is trying to delete it now. It says request has been sent. Okay, great. Refresh this and you will see that there will be an error. It says delete failed. Click on this to understand. The prefix list cannot be deleted because there are resources that are associated with it. So that's the problem. Till the time you do not remove that association, this prefix list cannot be deleted, which I find not that great because of the fact that we do have limits which are applied to every account in terms of how many prefix lists you can have, right? So one suggestion which I would give you here is that when you create prefix lists, make sure that you are sharing it only within your organization. That way you have control that where all it is getting used, and the point, and let's say there is a point when you don't want to keep a particular prefix list. You can, you can actually talk to different account owners, get that particular association removed, and then you can delete the prefix list. If you have shared this with some account where you do not have control, then it is going to be difficult. Okay, so let me show you this. Even if I go to resource access manager, and I actually stop sharing this particular this particular prefix list, even then I cannot delete it. That's the point. So if I go and select it and say disassociate, so that way it is not shared anymore. It will just take probably few seconds, and after that it would be disassociated. You can see here. So even when I do this particular thing, even then I cannot go ahead and delete this particular prefix list. So just want to show you that part. I select this and I try to delete. Once again, it cannot be deleted. Gives you this, but if you try to get inside, again you will see the same message within a second which says it cannot be deleted. So what is the method? What can you do? You need to go to the other account, delete that security group, or basically just remove the usage of this particular prefix list, and then you can come here and delete the stuff. So now I'll not do that. You can also go ahead and try it out. Let me go back to what we were discussing. Customers with whom a prefix list has been shared can view the prefix list and its entries, and they can reference the prefix list in their AWS resources. So this is about a consumer account, right? This part we discussed already, that in order to share a prefix list, you must own that particular thing. Now, this is what I was talking, right? When you unshare a prefix list, consumers can no longer view the prefix list or its entries into their account. But and they cannot reference it anymore in any of the new resources. But if the prefix list is already referenced in some of the consumers resources, then those references continue to function as normal, right? That's the whole thing which we saw just now, right? Because the security group was already using it, that will continue to use it. And so unless until that security group leaves that prefix list, it cannot be deleted. Remember that. And that is the point which is written next. Owners cannot delete a prefix list if the prefix list is referenced in a resource that's owned by a consumer. So remember that part. Now, I'll just talk about the last bit, which is the limitation with transit gateway. So I was telling you this thing, right? That in a hub spoke model, if you have different spoke VPCs peered to the hub VPC, then when they are peered, they can actually reference the security group of the other VPC. Of a peered VPC, they would be able to reference the security group within the same region. Remember that part. See, peering is supported even across different regions, but security group referencing is only possible between two peered VPCs within the same region. So it is even possible that two VPCs may belong to different account, in which case you can just put account number / security group ID and you can reference the security group. But when you peer two VPCs via transit gateway, then it is not possible to refer the security groups. And that is a big constraint, because certain organizations who are actually using VPC peering currently, they like this thing, that they are able to actually use the security groups, and they are able to refer the security groups in the other in the other VPCs. So that's really good thing, because that way they need not worry about increasing or decreasing number of tooling machines, right? Because they are referencing the security group. Now the same type of flexibility comes with prefix list. So for example, if I have a particular tooling running in my central tooling account, what I'll do is I'll create a prefix list, put all the IPs of that tooling software in that particular prefix list, and I'll use this prefix list in all my spoke account VPCs. So that way it is really easy. If something changes, I'll just change at one place, at one central place, I'll change it, and in all the accounts it would be reflected. That way my life becomes really, really simple. So I hope you understood that what prefix lists are, and how are they helpful? This is a really great feature, came very recently, and really simplifies a lot of stuff. So if you understood something from this video and if you like it, please help us by sharing it with your friends or in your circle. And do not stop here. We have got 150 videos on our YouTube channel related to AWS and bit of Azure as well. So if you're interested in learning from such simple, easy to understand videos, go check out our channel and please subscribe if you have not already done that. We'll bring more videos for you very soon. So continue to follow us. Take care, guys. Bye bye.